Okay, here we are at video number 5, and we will cover just a few policy reminders, a couple of things we've covered in videos 1 through 4, but just touch base one more time. Let's begin with remembering that the cell phone policy that you are to read before each testing session to the students also applies to test administrators, hallway monitors, and our restroom monitors. Remember that test administrators must be actively monitoring, and then administrators will also be required to document that each test administrator is actively monitoring. So remember, your doors should be unlocked so campus administrators can move freely throughout each session. All computers, including teacher computers, must be turned off. We need to keep this in mind. Also referring to iPads and any devices that the students might have that we may want to collect and place at the front of the room like we do cell phones. Some policies that TEA put in place in 2008 which continue today are seating charts, which require start and stop times, including the relief monitor. So if you do have a relief monitor come in your testing session for a few minutes for you to have a restroom break or a short break just to walk around outside, that relief monitor must put their name at the top of the seating chart, what time they came into your session, and then when you return, the relief monitor will put the time they left. The honor statement is still in place, as well as the active monitoring emphasis. The seating charts are to be completed and turned in by each test administrator each day of every test administration. Those will be part of our colored set of papers that we use every year. A new seating chart must be completed if students are moved to a new testing location. This would include any student who's removed and placed into a new setting for behavior or any issue that may arise that results in someone being moved, especially towards the end of the session. If we consolidate rooms, as we consolidate, a new seating chart is required. Seating charts themselves must include the name of the test administrator, and once again the relief monitor and the times that monitor is there. The location, including the room number. The student roster will be listed, and with the test booklet beside each student's name, and the date, subject, and grade of the test administration. These are maintained for 5 years in the testing room in the counseling center and are used to refer to if TEA has a question or a concern arises with the student's particular answer document or test scores later. These would allow us to pinpoint exactly what book that student used and be able to answer any questions that may arise. The honor statement, students taking EOC assessments are asked to sign an honor statement. You can take a few moments there to read that. You will be given instructions to prompt the students on completing the honor statement, and you are not required to verify that they do sign it. And then you will also be provided information in your manual on how to address students who refuse to sign it. Regarding the oaths that we use each year, you will have an oath of test security and confidentiality for a test administrator. That is our general oath, and that will be signed and given to the counseling department after our initial test security training, which is what you're participating in at the very moment. So this series of 5 videos encompasses the test security and confidentiality training that we have, and we will be having a faculty meeting for oath signing, and we will discuss that in just a few minutes. There are no additional oaths, so we are down to just the one oath. There will be an additional signature required for people who give an oral administration, but those will be notified later and done at a later date. The emphasis on active monitoring is simply to confirm that students are working on the correct subject area, being administered on that day, and they don't have access to unauthorized materials that are not to be used during the testing session. In addition, we want to verify that students have recorded their responses on their answer document, and we're required to do so before you accept the answer document from the student to turn back in. So just make sure that they have bubbled their answers on the answer document. And remember, that must be done within the time limit. So it's within the 4-hour limit for Algebra 1, Biology, and U.S. History, and within the 5-hour limit for English 1 and English 2 EOCs. You will be provided a test administrator checklist in your testing tub each day. Those must be checked off, signed, and turned in with your seating chart. Those are also kept for 5 years, along with several other pieces of information to document each session. A couple of reminders that you are instructed not to accept an answer document where the answers have not been recorded, and you are basically allowed to tell the student, you have not recorded all of your answers on the answer document. Please do so now. Test administrators may not talk about strategies on test day, and dictionaries are allowed on all parts of English 1 and English 2 EOC. That includes both the reading portion and the writing portion. And remember, this year is the first year our English 1 and 2 EOCs will be a new combined test. So the dictionary can be used throughout that testing session. Students are not allowed to bubble their answer documents after time has expired. And we must remind, either orally or in writing, how much time is left each hour. Remember, as a district policy, when we come to the last hour of testing, we remind students at the 30-minute mark and again at the 15-minute mark. No teacher computers should be on during testing sessions, as well as teacher cell phones, and this would also apply to those individuals monitoring the hallway and monitoring the restrooms. No cell phones and no computers allowed during that time frame. Remember, the best thing to do to ensure that you're incident free in your testing session is to follow the directions, read the manual, and just ask questions. If you have any questions or concerns prior to testing, just ask one of the counselors or one of the assistant principals. We want to thank you in advance for helping us make this testing season an incident-free. I know we'll do a great job, and it will all be because of the hard work that you guys put in each and every day and each and every testing day. We will be holding a faculty meeting on Wednesday, February the 26th at 7:15 in the library. This faculty meeting is a follow-up to this video series, and during that time, if you have had any questions about anything covered in the videos, those questions can be brought, and we will try to do an question and answer session. And also during that time frame, you will be signing the general security oath and leaving it with us, and we will also discuss the TEA online module that is required to be completed also. So we've reached the end of our video series, and we've reached the end of video number 5, which includes your list of questions. The link is below. For one last time, if you can follow the link and answer the questions, we would appreciate it. And we would greatly appreciate any feedback you can give us about this method of training. This is something new that we're trying, so you can watch this at your convenience at school or home or on the road. And we ask that you would give us feedback and let us know about the using this method of training in the future. So just drop me an email and let me know, good or bad, how you feel about how this went. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at 7:15 Wednesday the 26th.